Welcome you to the Thursday, January 22nd meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority Board. Looks like we have a quorum. Holy smokes. Clerk, may you please call the roll?
Roger Dickinson. Karina Talamontes.
Here.
Phil Pluckybaum. Katie Maple.
Here.
Mai Vang.
I am here.
Phil Cerna. Patrick Kennedy. Rich Desmond. Rosario Rodriguez. Pat Hume. Mary Jane Lopez Taff.
Here.
Rod Brewer.
Here.
Kevin Spees. Is he there yet? No. Tim Reed.
Here.
Linda Budge.
Here. Somewhere.
Tanya Kravchuk. Noel Mora.
Thank you, guys.
Is Tanya Kravchuk? Tanya Kravchuk. Bina Lefkowitz.
Here.
Nick
Sorry,
Blois.
Tanya's here.
Nick Blois. Jennifer Larrett. Tim Schaefer. Sergio Robles. And we have a quorum with 9 members.
Great. All right. With that all present, and I think we'll be expecting a couple more along the way over the next few minutes, we will move on to the next item, which is, have we already done the meeting statement yet, Clerk?
No, I'll read that now. This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority is broadcast live and recorded with closed captioning. It is cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV UVerse cable systems. It is also live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting replaced Saturday, January 24 at 4 p.m. on Metro Cable Channel 14. Once posted, the recording of this meeting can be viewed on demand at youtube.com/metrocable14. The meeting will also be recorded via Zoom. A DVD copy will be available upon request no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. The full agenda, including reports, is available on the library website at www.saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should complete a speaker identification form located at the back table and give it to the clerk. Members attending via Zoom should raise their hand in the Zoom program. Please speak clearly when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard.
Thank you, Clerk. Director Reed, do you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance today?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do we have everybody stand? Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so now we move on to item number 2, public comment on matters not on the agenda. I didn't receive any cards from the team, and so I think we can move on to our next item, presentations. Friends of the Sacramento Public Library. Devon, you are up.
APA. My name is Devon Graves, and I serve as the Vice President for the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library. I'm joined here with my esteemed colleague and President of the Friends, Rachel Caldor, and also on Zoom we have the amazing Anita Scurry. Thank you to all the friends and colleagues who've been able to tune in. It's my honor to provide a report on behalf of the Friends, the official community partner of the Sacramento Public Library. As you all know very well, the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library remain committed to supporting the mission of the library. This mission is important now more than ever as we continue to witness constraints on key institutions. The library is an important constant that provides tools that are essential to a thriving democracy. That is a mission that I hope we all can get behind. I have a couple items that I would like to share. First, the Friends held our regularly scheduled board meeting on January 13th. We heard regular updates, committee reports, and an update from the library. I want to thank Director Coyle and his team, especially Lisa Martinez, who engaged with our board about the library's rebranding efforts. Thank you so much for your time and energy dedicated to that work. In addition to the reports, the board discussed the Friends Supporting Friends grant, something that I've previously shared with this board, where we are greenlighting a project that is created with the goal of supporting some of our less fortunate affiliate groups that may need some additional support. So a working group of our board and Friends members budgeted an initial $50,000 that affiliates can tap into to get support for programming at their local affiliate level. And then for our membership report, we are happy to share that our organization has a total of about 4,100 members. That was from December 2025, so we remain committed to increasing that membership. Lastly, we discussed one of our most important assets, the Booked-In. So the Booked-In wrapped up an amazing calendar year. December brought in about over 2,000 logged volunteer hours. So shout out to our amazing volunteers who support our many departments, especially our online cells. As always, we welcome your visit to the Booked-In, individual friend affiliate board meetings, and the occasional Friends highlights in your newsletters and communication out to your community and your constituents. So if you need support on messaging, our team is happy to support getting you something over so you can include that, because highlighting the work that the Friends do in the community and an asset, I think, is important. Lastly, we have our upcoming All Friends board meeting scheduled for February 1st. That'll be taking place at 1 p.m. at Bell Coolidge Library. You're invited to attend, and again, that is an opportunity to engage with friends from across the Sacramento region who are dedicated and very strong advocates for the community. So I definitely recommend you stopping by, paying a visit, and the floor will be yours just to engage and talk about the work you do, whether as a member of the JPA or just in the community. So thank you as always for the opportunity to present on behalf of the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library, and I'm happy to answer any questions at this time.
Thank you, Devon. What day is the Bell Coolidge event?
I believe it is a Sunday, yes.
This Sunday?
No, February 1st.
February 1st, okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to get it mixed up because my mom's birthday is this weekend and I don't want to be on her bad side. And it starts at 10, you said?
It starts at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. on February 1st.
Correct.
Good deal. Good deal.
Chair Brewer, we can have the clerk of the board send an invitation to the board members with that information.
Thank you.
We'll do that as soon as this meeting's over.
That'd be great. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any comments or questions from any of our directors? Hearing and
Chair Brewer, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Anita, I saw you unmuted. Was there something you wanted to add? If I could pass it over to my colleague.
I just wanted to say there's going to be food. Makes a difference.
now you've won the board over now. Well, with that said, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for the reports. They've been very helpful, very timely. It definitely highlights the work that the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library and all of our respective chapters, what they're doing as a whole, and really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now we'll move on to item number 4, Executive Team Report. Director Coyle.
Thank you, Chair Brewer and members of the Authority Board. Before I start my report, we have a video that our comm team has put together to support also our annual report that you have in front of you. So we'll play that short video here. I wanted to start with that video because it highlights really the breadth and depth of the work that the staff and the community, that staff have done with the community over the past year. This is only a brief snippet, a short snapshot of the great work that the staff has done in terms of reaching out to the community and providing programs and services in response to the community in our strategic plan. And we hope in the coming months to share more information with the board about where we are with the strategic plan and how our programs and services are aligning with that. But I'd like to highlight mostly when we talk about how you measure success in a library, there are lots of ways that people think about it. And the most common is how many people visit and how many people check out books. I think that's a good lodestar that I think everyone uses across the country. And if you look at our uses across the last year, we are nearly at 9 million items checked out, which is a significant amount. Our team does an extraordinary job of processing the materials that come in. The staff put them on hold on the shelf, and the customers come check them out, and that cycle starts all over again. And it's why people come to the library, I think one of the key reasons. And so as we look at how we provide our resources, we're really focusing on making sure that the materials we provide to the community are reflective of what they're looking for. We are facing some challenges, though, with the closure of Baker and Taylor, as we reported previously. But our collection services staff have done a Herculean effort of really pivoting and getting us on track with some new vendors. We are seeing some delay in materials coming from publishers because of the supply and demand issue. When you have the one major supplier for libraries go belly up with not very much notice, there is a gap in the economy there. But we are seeing materials return or be shipped to us from the vendors, taking a little bit longer. But if you hear from constituents and have questions about it, we're happy to answer those questions from the users. We're doing our best to make sure that they get on the shelf as quickly as they can, and providing alternative copies also in e-resources. And you can see from our annual report on page 5 that we're nearly 50-50 split with the circulation. Actually, it's a little bit more like 60-40 if you really do the estimating. Digital seems to be something that our customers are looking for, and so we're looking at ways to increase access and lower hold times. And so I just wanted to highlight that, especially as that is an issue that we're dealing with on a regular basis with that closure of that company. But I also wanted to highlight the great support we've received from our jurisdictions. Specifically on page 6, you'll see some updates we have on the facilities that are being renovated. And I'm happy to share some updates with you now on that topic. We are happy to report that the Colonial Heights Library has reopened, and we had a soft reopening, and we've opened for full service. We have the community room is nearly completed. We were waiting for the city to install a component of the HVAC system that was on back order. That has been installed, and now we are waiting for the AV systems to be installed so we can continue to have community programs in that space, as well as the furniture and other equipment for that. So we're hoping that will be completed and open for full use in the next month. So we're happy to report that to the board. Also happy to report that the Del Paso Heights Library is reopened. That was closed for a period of time for some some much needed parking lot maintenance. So that has reopened, and that reopened on the 13th. And so we're excited to have the community back in that space as well. I do monthly site visits on our major construction projects, the Elk Grove Library, Martin Luther King Library specifically, as well as the North Sacramento Hageman Library. Those projects are all on track. The construction is going very well. Every month we go and see the change, and it's fascinating and delightful to see those buildings grow and take shape. And we're looking forward to having the community in those spaces when they are completed. And I will refer you to the rest of the report in my written report if there are other questions from the board. But I think I'll say at this time that we're shaping up for a really great year. We had a fantastic year last year, and I'm excited to share with you in the coming weeks what we plan for the next year.
It's like just scanning through this, the more important things is seeing how membership has gone up You have nearly 9 million books being checked out every year. That means people are definitely coming back to the library and spending time there. And those are definitely pluses. But what really I like to see the most, or what I've really liked seeing, is how we were able to respond to the Colonial Heights restoration, making sure that we were able to get that back in a safe and effective manner. We were able to get it open. Of course, we wanted to get it open in December, but seeing it open in this month is still a plus. That's still a win. Seeing the renovation for the MLK Library, seeing Del Paso being up and running again, the construction of the Hagenwood site, and also obviously the Elk Grove Library moving forward on track after that brief hiccup with the fire on the roof. Those are good. Those are all positives, and it's something we could definitely hang our hat on, saying last year was a successful year, not only for us as a board, but also for the community. That was done through your leadership, and I definitely want to commend you for that, Director Coyle. You and your team have definitely stepped up and really addressed the needs of the community and really stood tall for us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jabir. That's kind of you to say, and I also would be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge the partnership we've had with the jurisdictions who do a lot of the physical work, as well as our community volunteers and the Friends of the Library. Many of the programs and services here are supported by the Friends, and it really is working with the community that we're able to provide these great services. So we appreciate that.
And definitely seeing what the work that you were able to do out in the Delta, and showing a lot of patience and cooperation working with Elk Grove Unified School District, with the Franklin Library. Those are also to be commended to, because those are also big priorities in servicing the community. But we definitely see the need, and the public also sees that need as well, and we're able to meet them, not more than halfway, but definitely meet them to try and give them what they need. Director Lefkowitz.
Hello. Okay. I love your annual report, and the video is a great addition as well. Is it possible to get extra copies of these? I'd like to give it to my board when we come together again in February.
Yeah, if you just want to, if you send Heather an email, we can compile and get you those.
Okay.
Yeah, just tell us how many copies you'd like.
Okay. The other thing, I was glad to see that the Friends of the Library are noted here and their contribution. I have a colleague who's a voracious reader, and she was not aware of the book den. So I guess I'm just wondering, since you do mention them, I don't know if next year if there's a way to just put a note that they run the book den, because my friend who's a voracious reader was shocked. She didn't know. So anyway, and then my last question is, I've heard, I don't know if this is true, that less young people are reading. I don't know if this is something you all have heard in the library field, but if that is true, it makes me worried. And I don't know if you've seen fewer young people coming to the library.
I'll respond and say I don't know if we've seen fewer people. We have seen some research recently, and there's a study done in the UK of parents reading to their children, and that has decreased the amount of adults reading to their children. And I think that there is a tendency in the younger generation to prefer ebooks over. There is an assumption, but there has also been a shift where some of those younger generations are preferring the print book over They want that physical experience. But I don't have any firsthand experience or knowledge of how that's impacting us. I would say that it's an issue that we are looking closely at, knowing especially that literacy is a huge issue in this region, but also across the country. But one of the things we're looking at is how we can have the library be a family experience, and so we can encourage people to bring everyone together at the library. So you'll see, I think in the next year, a lot of our programs trying to reach all ages in various topics. So instead of having one-off, we might try and do some things that are more family-focused.
Great. Actually, I forgot my last comment I wanted to make is I'm excited you're going to be bringing your strategic plan, what you're thinking for this year related to your strategic plan. I think that will be really helpful to the board to hear that. Yeah.
I think one of the cool things that we've seen is, I think it was very important as part of the annual report, is we're looking at the numbers, but the overall meaning of what we're doing, the intent of how we're moving about our business, where curiosity meets community. That phrase, that slogan is something that is going to be carried out for the next year. And seeing the programs that the library will be doing in conjunction with the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library and all of our 28 chapters, having that message being played and being disseminated is going to be very key, because having the family experience at the library, or just having the individual experience, is definitely something that's going to be very important to note, because just to be very cognizant. I mean, ebooks are very popular now, and when you have the option of picking something on a Kindle as opposed to going into your local library, that's that's competition right there. And so creating different ways, different avenues to help enhance the experience, this is where that slogan is going to come in very handy in drawing new people to the library. And if there is a shortage of youth attending the library now for whatever reason, that's another way, that's another hook to get people back to the library. Any other comments or questions from directors?
Chair Brewer, Anita Scurry has her hand up on Zoom.
Yes, Anita.
Hi, speaking as president of the Friends of the Ardendemic Library, I noticed in the materials that library is slated to be closed February to April, and I know that we don't often get much notice of, or the library doesn't get much notice of the actual date of the closure, but we actually have a book sale scheduled for March 12th, 13th, and 14th. So I'm just wondering if we could get, rather than put a lot of work into this, if it's not going to happen, it would be good to know earlier rather than later. So that's for Peter.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll address it internally. There seems to be maybe a gap in communication there, but we'll work offline to handle that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Seeing and hearing no other comments or questions from directors, I want to thank you for the executive report, Director Coyle. And now we will move on to information. We have 2 items. I trust that we've been able to see those. Do you have any questions of Johnny based off of that information? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to number 6, the consent calendar. We have 9 items on the agenda for consideration. On consent, do we have any comments from the public?
Nope.
Hearing and seeing none, do we have any comments or questions from the directors?
I'll move consent.
I'll second.
So with that said, we have a first by Vice Chair Maple, and we have a second from Director Talamantes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. No abstentions? Yes.
I apologize, but because we have people participating remotely, we do have to do a roll call vote under the
Okay.
Act.
So we have the unanimous from the dais. Now we got to do the physical count. So may we please get the vote, clerk?
Roger Dickinson, Karina Talamontes,
Yes.
Phil Pluckybaum, Katie Maple,
Aye.
Mai Vang,
Yes.
Phil Cerna, Patrick Kennedy, Rich Desmond, Rosario Rodriguez, Pat Hume, Mary Jane Lopez Taff,
Yes.
Rod Brewer,
Yes.
Kevin Spees, Tim Reed,
Yes.
Linda Budge,
Yes.
Tanya Kravchuk,
Aye.
Noel Mora,
Aye.
Bina Lefkowitz,
Yes.
Nick Blois.
Aye.
The motion passes with 10 members voting.
All right, thank you, members. So now we will move on to item number 7. It's an action item, 7.1, the annual audit report. Johnny, you are now up. Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Brewer and members of the board. On the agenda today are the audited financial statements for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2025. So I have a short PowerPoint presentation here, but feel free to ask any questions along the way. So we had a successful year-end close and audit process as well too. We did run into some challenges with this close due to the financial software upgrade from our Eden financial system to Enterprise ERP. Managing two systems and trying to close the books is definitely a juggling act. So appreciate the staff and hard work of the especially finance staff and management team as well too, in terms of getting all the pieces in place and making sure we can close the books. With the challenges, we did run into some delays. The audit was slightly delayed in terms of completion. We had to manage migrating 12 modules within Enterprise ERP. 9 are successfully completed, 1 is still in progress, and 2 human resources and the payroll system is still in the works. So we're not completely done yet, but we are on the right track. So we were a bit delayed, about 2 weeks behind the normal closing date of November 30th by the time we complete the audit. So the end result was an unqualified audit opinion, meaning that the authority is in compliance with GAAP and GASB standards, so generally accepted accounting principles, and the Government Accounting Standards Board. Our internal controls are good, and there were no audit findings. So taking a look at the numbers, so these are our ending fund balances. So we do have 4 major funds: the General Fund, County of Sacramento Fund, City of Sacramento Fund, City of Sacramento Household Taxes X&B Fund, and 1 small permanent fund. So General Fund ended the year at $10.7 million, County of Sacramento at $34.1 million, $14.8 million for City of Sacramento Fund, which is the General Fund and Measure U combined. And City of Sacramento Household Tax X&B ended the year at $10.3 million. And then we have a small permanent fund known as the Moore Trust that ended the year at slightly above $300,000. So total fund balance ended at June 30, 2025 at $70.2 million. So taking a look at the County of Sacramento fund balances in a bit more detail. So of the $34.1 million, roughly $15 million for general branch expenditures, $615,000 for donations, and then a couple of restricted reserves, $12.9 million for economic uncertainty and cash flow needs, and then a $5.2 million in supplemental fund balances. There's also a deferred maintenance fund balance of almost $500,000, again for a total of $34.1 million. Taking a deeper dive into the supplemental fund balance, so of the $5.2 million supplemental fund balance at June 30, 2025, $3.9 million is for the county unincorporated libraries. And then also note that in fiscal year 26, the authority board had approved $1.7 million in usage for 3 HVAC projects within the county libraries. Citrus Heights Library, $466,000. The City of Elk Grove Library, $9,000. And so in fiscal year 25, we transferred $1.2 million to the City of Elk Grove to help out with the Elk Grove project. So as Peter mentioned, that project is on the way, and so we're looking forward to its completion. The City of Galt, $207,000. City of Alton, almost $28,000. So of that amount, there was a remediation project in fiscal year 26, so that money is going to be spent as well too. And then the City of Rancho Cordova Library, $650,000. So similarly, on the City of Sacramento fund balances, we have 2 major funds, the City General Fund and Measure U, and the household taxes Measure X and B combined. So of those, the city fund balance, $58,000 is for donations, branch expenditures of 11.3 million, a little bit over 3 million for economic uncertainty reserves, and a deferred maintenance of about $369,000 for a total of 14.8 million. And then similarly on the parcel tax fund, again, this is measure X and B combined, ended the year at 8.7 million for parcel tax carryovers, donation of roughly 38,000, and economic uncertainty reserves of 1.7 million. So for a total fund balance of 13.4 million. Other notable financials, pension liabilities. So as you may have seen in your respective agencies, pension liabilities are generally one of the bigger numbers within the financial statements. So we ended the year based on GASB 68 and 71 requirements, recording a net pension liability of almost 25 million, and related deferred outflows of 8.3 million, and almost 90,000 for deferred inflows. Noted Land provides more details on the pension requirements. And then on the GASB 75 OPEB liabilities, so other post-employment benefits, the library recorded 6.9 million in OPEB obligations, deferred outflows of 403,000, and deferred inflow of 1.8 million. Again, Note 12 provides additional information on OPEB liabilities. And the GASB never ends. GASB 87, this is for leases. So a couple of years ago, we had to record lease liabilities. So this includes buildings, lease vehicles that we lease for the library as well too. So we recorded the right to use leased assets in the amount of almost 2 million. And on the flip side, lease liabilities at about 2 million as well too. We do have one Sylvan Cell Tower lease at the Citrus Heights branch. So that is bringing in a receivable of about 255,000, and of that amount, 234,000 is deferred inflows. So again, note number 8 provides additional information on leases. And subscription, so GASB 96, subscription-based information technology agreements, so also known as BIDAs. And so this is recording subscription liabilities and subscription assets also. So as Director Coy mentioned earlier, the e-books and so forth are more moving towards subscription-based. So that's part of what this one is right here. So roughly 1.3 million in subscription assets, and on the flip side, 938,000 in liabilities. And lastly, this is a new standard, GASB 101. So this is effective fiscal year 25. This requires updates to the recognition and measurements of compensated absences. So prior to GASB 101, typically we record PTO, so paid time off, holiday and credits, and other accrued liabilities. But with GASB 101, the requirement is that we need to estimate what these other accrued leaves are in terms of liabilities. So we've never recorded liability for CAT leave or California sick leave. And so with 101, we did a 5-year look back, so analyzing 5 years worth of data to see how much time staff had taken for CAT leave and sick leave, and come up with an estimate and present that to the auditor to make sure that they are accepting our estimates. So with GASB 101, we had to do a prior year adjustment of 364,000. So this is a combination of the CAT leave and sick leave. So CAT leave, as you might know from your agencies, are mainly for staff that do not get PTO or vacation. So just a small portion of sick leave for on-call staff within the library. So the bulk of that amount is for cat leave, which is for emergencies and other needs. So the total compensated absences that was recorded on the books as of June 30, 2025 was 3.1 million. So again, most of that amount is for paid time off, so PTO balances. So this is a pretty busy schedule. So we present the financial statements under two standards, so the modified accrual and the full accrual accounting. So under modified accrual, this is where all the governmental funds are recorded. It focuses on current available resources, and this is where we do all of our budgeting on a yearly basis. So again, looking at the fund balances, we ended the year at 10.6 million for the general fund and 34.1 million for County of Sacramento fund, City of Sacramento general fund and Measure U at almost 15 million, and parcel taxes X and B at a little bit over 10 million, and one small permanent fund of 365,000. So again, the total fund balance at June 30 was 70.2 million. And then on the right-hand side, this is the full accrual accounting. This is more like the private sector accounting, where it captures all of the available resources, so including capital assets, long-term liabilities, and as I mentioned earlier, pension liabilities, OPEB, accrued compensated absences, leases, and SBITA. So when you factor in all these other liabilities, it presents a net position of 57.1 million. And so of that amount, 14.4 million is for capital assets, county branches at 18.6 million, City of Sacramento general fund at 7.2 million, parcel taxes X and B at almost $6 million, and 5.1 million for restricted agency-wide and unrestricted of almost 5.9 million. So again, a total of 57.1 million. So when you compare the two numbers, 70.2 versus 57.1, there's quite a gap there, and mainly because it's due to the other long-term liabilities, OPEB, pension, and so forth. And lastly, so under attachments A, governance letter, attachment B, management letter, these are the required communication letters from the auditors. So happy to report that there were no difficulties encountered in performing the audit, no disagreements with management. The books are clean, so the financial statements are good, and no reportable issues identified. So that concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for running us through this update. As we were going through the numbers and as you shared the overall description and the meaning behind it, I thought that was very helpful, especially that delta that you regarding the government versus the private. And I think that was very helpful as well. But looking at the overall scope, what are any pitfalls that you have seen or the analysts have seen when doing this actual report as we come into this next fiscal year? And is there anything unforeseen that we should be looking at or be aware of in terms of unfunded liabilities?
On unfunded liabilities, again, mainly the pension liabilities, OPEB, those are the two bigger chunks. And there's probably really no surprises. Those are standard liabilities, and unless we cease to exist or shut our doors, those liabilities are going to continue on an ongoing basis. It's a challenge to try to fund it like 100% because when you try to, then you're always trying to catch up. And I believe our PERS contribution is about close to 80% funded. So that's a really good number. But in terms of the liabilities, again, that's just going to continue to progress as we move forward.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions or comments from directors, either on the dais or on the screen? Director Mora.
I just wanted to say congratulations on having no findings.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a collaborative effort. We have a small finance staff, but everybody is, passionate about their work. The migration from Eden to Enterprise, that really took a toll on the whole team. So we're about 80% completed. Again, the two major modules, human resources and payroll, that's another big obstacle that we need to go through as well too. But we have some good new staff in place, some new HR staff and payroll staff as well too. And so the team is really excited about the new software and what's going to bring to the table. And I must say, this is a once in every 20-year project. So slight delays, input issues, fixed assets. We had to do imports about 6 times to get it done. So we got the financials done, but the capital assets was one of the major problems for us. But we got it done.
Good deal. Because we talked about the transition to the new software not too long ago, and looking at how that transition is going to take place over the next few months, making sure that all financial records and data that has to be transitioned over is being done so in a manner to where there's no hiccups or suspensions in the system itself. Are you experiencing any of that right now?
Currently, right now, no hiccups. Again, the last 2 modules, human resources and payroll, that is slated to go live in October. So this coming October. So it's a long process, and converting any financial system, you have to make sure that all the numbers come over, from the old system to the new system, and the auditors have to also confirm and validate the numbers as well too as they audit. So, but yeah, it's numbers. I mean, there's so many numbers to look at and deal with. So it's not an easy task. But again, we had a really great team to work with, and the consultants. Some of them were great, some of them were not that great. During the process, but we managed to get through it.
Well, I want to thank you and your team for the work that was done on this. It's really sharp, very focused, and greatly appreciated. Any comments from the public? And I'll do one last question for our directors. Hearing and seeing it, I'm looking for a motion and a second.
Move to approve.
Second.
So we have a second from Director Mora, a second from Director Reed. All those members online, clerk, may please call the roll.
Roger Dickinson, Karina Talamontes,
Yes.
Phil Pluckybaum, Katie Maple,
Aye.
Lai Vang,
Yes.
Phil Cerna, Patrick Kennedy, Rich Desmond, Rosario Rodriguez, Pat Hume, Mary Jane Lopez Taff,
Yes.
Rod Brewer,
Yes.
Kevin Spees, Tim Reed,
Yes.
Linda Budge,
Yes.
Tanya Kravchuk,
Yes.
Noel Mora, Bina Lefkowitz,
Yes.
Nick Blois,
Aye.
and motion passes with 10 members voting.
Director Blois with a strong aye. Motion carries. Thank you, directors. And now we can move on to item 7.2, which is the fun part of the hearing, the election of a new board chair and vice chair for 2026. So I've had it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure serving on the board as chair for this past year, and seeing a lot of progress move along on all the projects that matter most to each of the directors, but really the public. And seeing the work that is being done really gives me a strong reinforcement that The library, Sacramento Public Library, is moving on an upswing. Friends of the Sacramento Public Library, with that strong performance in fundraising last year, was amazing. And I can't help but believe that this year it will be just as strong, if not stronger. But with all that said, a lot of that doesn't happen without the partnership of the library staff, the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library, and our fellow directors present and in TV land. And even though I wasn't there physically at a lot of these events, I was definitely there in spirit, and definitely chiming in through email or text, just to let you know that I have your back. And I think you'll be in great shape with who our next chair will be, because person leads with heart, leads with spirit, and definitely works in the best interest of all the community. That person I'm talking about is the person that I'm going to nominate for the role of chair, and that is my vice chair, Katie Maple, if she will have it.
Chair, if I may, I will happily accept the nomination. Thank you. And it's been a real joy serving as vice chair for last year. I've learned a lot from you, from the staff, and just about the library system in general. So I really look forward to spending this next year learning even more, getting much more hands-on, especially about summer reading challenge. And, I love the prom drive and finding ways that we can get out the word about all the great work that's happening. So I will happily accept the nomination. Thank you.
Thank you. And for vice chair, definitely is the person who shares that same spirit, that same commitment, and presence. And that person is Citrus Heights Council Member Director Mary Jane Lopez Taft, if she will accept.
Thank you so much, Chair Brewer. I absolutely will accept. I really appreciate that vote of confidence and look forward to working with the board and Chair Maple.
Okay, it looks like we have a ticket. So now I'm looking for a motion and a second.
I'll move it. I'll second.
So we have a motion by Director Talamantes, a second by Director Lefkowitz. Clerk, may you please call the roll?
Roger Dickinson, Karina Talamontes, Phil Pluckybaum, Katie Maple,
Aye.
Mai Vang,
Yes.
Phil Cerna, Patrick Kennedy, Rich Desmond, Rosario Rodriguez, Pat Hume, Mary Jane Lopez Taft,
Aye.
Rod Brewer,
Aye.
Kevin Spees, Tim Reed,
Yes.
Linda Budge,
Yes.
Tanya Kravchuk,
Aye.
Noel Mora, Bina Lefkowitz,
Yes.
Nick Blois,
Aye.
and motion passes with 10 members voting.
Thank you, Clerk, and thank you, members. And congratulations to new board chair, Katie Maple, and vice chair, Mary Jane Lopez Taft.
Thank you. Congratulations.
And then for item 7.3, we need to appoint a budget audit committee for 2026. These are very important key meetings, and they take place normally a week before our library board meetings, and they take place at least every month or every other month. Because I know we met like quarterly this year. Mm-hmm. Director Coyle, could you expand a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think we meet, typically I think it's usually every other month, but more as needed. We are looking to establish more of a schedule ahead of time, so it's kind of been a little ad hoc in terms of the schedule, but our hope is that we'd meet at least every other month. And I will take other direction from our CFO and our legal counsel if I'm misspeaking on the requirements of that. Which they're not correcting me, so I think I'm okay in saying that.
Yeah, as I saw counsel, she gave the approval nod, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And for the composition of the committee, it's normally 3 makes a quorum, but how many would make up for various alternates in lieu of members not being present?
I'll defer to our legal counsel to respond.
Good afternoon. So in 2019, the board adopted a resolution that indicated that you could have anywhere from 3 to 5 members on the board plus 2 alternates. So if you appoint 3, then a quorum would be 2. But if you appoint 5, then a quorum is 3. So, and then you have 2 alternates that can help reach a quorum in the event that board members aren't available to be at the committee meetings. But the preference would be to appoint 5 with 2 alternate, and then 2 alternates in addition.
Got it. With that said, any interested individuals joining me on the Budget Audit Committee? Because I'm still very much interested in serving on that.
And I'll just say historically, I think we've had the current chair, the former chair, the vice chair, and then a couple of other members as the constitution of the committee, but that is not a requirement in the resolution.
Okay. What say you, Chair-elect?
I am happy to be a member of the Budget and Audit Committee.
Okay.
And I'm happy to continue as well.
Okay.
And I'll go on as an alternate.
Thank you, Director Talamantes, the past chair. So that gives us 4 members. We need 1 more to complete the role, and this also includes directors who are on virtually as well, because we can bring you in virtually to participate in the meetings also. And so this is a great time, and also it's a really good committee to be on as we're looking at the fiscal health of the Sacramento Public Library. Any other interested individuals? I think that's Director Budge, but she may be muted. Are we on mute? Is that you, Director Budge?
What?
I see your light flashing on. Are you interested in joining the committee, the Budget Audit Committee?
If you don't have anybody else, Rod, I can do that. I've been on it in the past.
Okay. So with that gives us 5, 3 to make a quorum, 2 to also serve in case. How does that composition look right now?
So I think Director Talamantes indicated an interest in being an alternate, not a member of the committee. So that gives us 4 for the committee with 1 alternate. So ideally, we would have 1 additional committee member and 1 additional alternate, but we can also exist with 4 and 1 alternate if we don't have other interest.
And obviously, we can select people over the course of the year as well.
Yeah, that's correct, Chair Brewer. We could at another meeting fill other spots if that's the will of the board as well.
Okay. Okay, no, that's good. At least we have 1 alternate and 3 standard members to fulfill the quorum, and I think that's important. That's good to have right now. And then for others, if you do express an interest, I mean, obviously, this will not be my show. Chair Maple and Vice Chair Taff are more than happy to have that dialogue and see what we can do about making that happen for you. So do we need a motion for the current composition right now?
As the board chair, you have the power to appoint, so you do not need a vote of the board. You can just tell them that this is what they're doing.
Okay. Okay. It's got a little zesty over there. I like that.
Until the end of the meeting, and then I think your power is gone.
So for the Budget Audit Committee, it will be Chair Maple, Vice Chair Taft, myself, Director Brewer. Director Talamantes will be an alternate, and then we will add on additional members to be announced.
And you caught Director Budge in there too?
Oh, yes, Director Budge. Director Budge is also a member of the committee as well, so that gives us 4 plus an alternate. I think that fulfills our needs for right there. How does the board feel about that? Are we all good with that?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Congratulations to the new members of the Budget Audit Committee. And we will move on to item number 8, reports, ideas, questions from board members. Hearing and seeing none.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Director Budge.
so I had a request. This is kind of odd, but looking at that list that was sent out about the chair and vice chair rotation that was approved in 2011, we are now almost 25 years away from the last incorporation of a new city in Sacramento County. And we are what I think might be 14 years away from the adoption of the MOU that created the JPA that includes all of the jurisdictions with the exception of the city of Folsom. And so it strikes me as kind of antiquated that in this list of rotation, we continue to refer to people as county city as opposed to the city that they're from. And the whole idea of that, of forming the JPA was to give jurisdictions equal standing and to get away from the whole idea that it was a city-county library. And given that everyone is putting in property tax and everybody theoretically is getting something out, even though the county may own the majority of the library structures, the physical structures within the county, it seems only logical that we would refer to people as being from the city that they come from, and perhaps do a rotation schedule that uses that nomenclature. So I just thought I'd bring that up. It just struck me as kind of odd.
It's definitely
And I'm
interesting.
perfectly willing to talk about it at another time.
Yeah, no, that you bring up a really good point, Director Budge. I know this is in relation to some of the boards we similarly sit on and part of those discussions that we have. No, you bring up a really good thing, and it's something that should definitely be discussed in the coming year.
It's the piece of paper that came out with the board and chair and vice chair rotation.
Yeah. No, I hear you. No, that's Director Coyle. Would you like to?
Yeah, I
interject on that?
I don't disagree with Director Budge. I view this as more of a shorthand for us in terms of keeping track of the kind of the 3-party rotation that we follow, city, county, and other jurisdictions. We can certainly change the nomenclature here, and I'm happy to talk with the chair and Director Budge of how we can maybe modify this. But for me, it's more of a shorthand in terms of the nomenclature, and we can adjust that as this board sees fit.
Good deal.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing, see, if you look at this, 26 should have been a representative from the county, but instead, incoming Chair Maple is from the city of Sacramento.
I would say, Chair Brewer, part of that is the adjustment we made for the partial tax measure last year, but also this nomenclature here is, again, that adjusted because of that. So this is a guide, and again, the board is able to make adjustments as they want. So I'm happy to adjust this at the direction of the board.
Okay. And usually when you usually have a board and the chair you have a chair and a vice chair, if the vice chair is still there and ready to serve to become the chair, it's normally that line of succession where the chair selects the vice chair and so forth and so on.
Yeah, I don't think that is a practice. I don't think there's a requirement for that in our organizational structure, but that is, I think, the intent behind that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're happy to adjust this however the board sees fit.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. Okay. So with that said, now we move on to item number 9. Are there any items for closed session? Hearing and seeing none and not having anything on the agenda, we've come to the magic hour of 4:01. So we've approximately hit 60 minutes on the dot. Thank you so much. Be safe. Have a great weekend. And this meeting is now adjourned at 4:01 p.m.